Heath Newburn of PagerDuty, welcome. It's great to talk to you. Thanks for joining me today. You were telling me a moment ago that you think context is really important as people think about building out, maturing, deploying DevSecOps environments. What's the context that you think is important for people to understand? Heath, welcome.
Hey, thanks so much, Francis. It's great getting to spend some time with you. When I talk to SREs and other teams in the DevSecOps space, if you think about it, the demands of what you takes to, people are hiring around that now. How do you staff it? How do you grow it? You throw the whole platform at them of everything from infrastructure. How are you dealing with SIM? How are you dealing with your SOAR, right? All of these things and the ability to understand those things in context. What's happening given time? How do you combine IT and security, all this stuff? So what are your thoughts around that? What are the kind of the best tools and practices that are helping people get the context to go and solve the problems?
Where do you see them stumble? Where do you see them run into roadblocks and challenges to be able to implement these concepts?
Yeah, one of the big things I see is there's this huge, how do you bridge the silos, right? And instead, what I like to talk about is, they're pillars of excellence, right? How do we take those pillars of excellence and really structure them together? So I think one is being able to get the data, being able to get the events, being able to get all the different parts of the piece of that. What are those automated practices that you can drive that say, hey, bring those things together, find the wheat from the chaff, surface the things that I really begin to care about. And then what's that next best action from that? That's what I see as really being the acme, the gold standard that people have to figure out now.
What holds organizations back from getting to that end state?
I think probably the big thing is that not understanding kind of those domains underneath that and also requiring such deep expertise or specialized tools around that. So if you can instead set up a system that says, hey, we have this capability of taking event driven, meaning I don't have to go look for things, right? They're going to come to me in a centralized manner in whatever data plane that I have. Automation first. You can't then move at machine speeds with thousands or tens of thousands of millions of events until you have an automation capability that allows you to have the system driving that reaction at high speed and then saying, all right, take out the things that we don't care about, surface those things that, from machine learning or AI capabilities that help me identify. And I hate to use the word root cause, Francis, because in complex systems, right, a lot of things happen. So let's talk about probable origin. Help me understand what's the probable origin of the things around this so that I can, as quickly as possible, either drive automated remediation so no human has to get involved. Or what is the most likely opportunity, though, is that how do I have machine guided automation, people guided automation together to actually help resolve issues as quickly as possible?
How do you see organizations measure success in doing the things that you've just described, Heath? How does one know that half of the way, a quarter of the way, a month into the process that one is going in the right direction?
Yeah, I love the way you're framing that question, right? Because there's obviously leading and lagging indicators, right? The lagging indicators, the ones that really matter at the end of the day, are your customer experience. That can be mission readiness, right? If you're more of the DoD or the other side, it can be more around constituent experience, right? If you are serving a civilian or the other side of the community, how are they actually getting the things you do? What is your internal developer experience? What are your internal people experiences around that? The leading indicators, we often kind of morph back to, oh, what's my MTTA? What's my MTTR? What's my MTD? Right? Those classic ITSM metrics, because we can wrap our arms around them. But did they really tell the story? So I think beginning to figure out, understanding how am I driving down the total number of issues, right? Am I removing those from the system that can be? What I really like to look at is what is my automated response, right? If I look at that classic body of what have I done in the past with people? How am I starting to remove those more common issues from that? Because that's what's going to allow my team members to go and create those next best experiences for what's out there. Am I, digging into that technical debt, or as one of my clients so richly put it, am I mining that, mountain of technical wealth, right? To be able to create those next outcomes.
What does collaboration look like in an effective DevSecOps environment? How does one know that one is doing that well, that the right people are talking to the right people about the right stuff?
Yeah, so I like to bucket that into sort of three buckets, right? So one is the people that are actually effectively responding to issues, whether across deployments, across break fix, across being able to manage critical systems. How are they working together? And one of the easiest ways I can tell is, am I coming to you and saying, "Hey, France, if you want to use the system, this is the only way. You have to SSH here, open this tab, work out of this." It's going to be very difficult to get a whole bunch of different people doing that. So am I really opening up systems of engagement that can say, hey, have I got a mobile presence? Have I got chat ops? Can I work out of my desired tool around the things that I do? So being able to surround those body of subject matter experts, the things to do. But next is stakeholders, right? You have got the other people in the organization that are reliant on those services that you're providing. A lot of time, whether they might be line of business owners in some agencies, they might be service owners in others, they might be mission planners in others, right? How are you able to serve them? And do they know if a service is particularly compromised or around that? And how are you keeping that implicit contract or sometimes explicit contract with them saying, hey, Francis, I'm going to let you know every 15, 20 minutes if there's something affecting you, and you're always going to be told. And I can tell you via email, via text, via app push, whatever, in a way that makes sense. And then lastly, those people that are actually getting that service from you, whether it's another application, whether it's somebody else internally, or those external providers, are they questioning what's going on? We all are used to, hey, having to call up somebody and say, hey, this isn't working. And what's the worst possible experience is, oh, yeah, sorry, we didn't know that. Let me get back to you. As opposed to, oh, yeah, Francis, we're aware of that. This happened 20 minutes ago. We're working it right now. Here is a status page you can go check, or, hey, I'll contact you back if this is critical to you. So that's how you know you're winning. Are you closing that last mile gap with the consumers? Are stakeholders engaged? And the responders and the people working all have a method to work.
Heath, it's great insight. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Francis. Really enjoyed it.